Hello and welcome. I'm Zahid from Let's Speak English. Today's topic is parts of speech. We will be including parts of speech. How many parts of speech are there in English language? About the 10 parts of speech, before explaining the 10 parts of speech, it is important to understand that most organizations today consider there only to be 8 parts of speech and in some cases 9 parts of speech. Both articles and determiners are the 2 parts of grammar that may sometimes be left out. We will be talking about these 10 parts of speech, which will be including noun, adjective, pronoun, conjunction, interjection, verb, adverbs, prepositions, articles, and determiners. So, till now we have studied parts of speech. There are 8 parts of speech. But today I'm going to tell you that there are 10 parts of speech. Some of the books and some of the teachers will be teaching there are 9 parts of speech. That is correct. Both are correct. I'm also correct because determiners are also part of the parts of speech. Though they come in articles, but we can talk about them and we can count them as a part of different part of speech. Okay, so let us start. First, the noun. Noun, you may be wondering which word are nouns. A noun is defined as a person, place, thing, or idea. Proper nouns, which are specific nouns that a person knows, such as the name of a restaurant, always begin with a capital letter. Common nouns, which are general words such as cars, are not capitalized. Briefly explain your point of view. So in short, every name we call a noun. For example, a rose, a doll, a hen, a crown. So what we have learned till now, we understand noun as, so we can say the noun is anything, any name is a noun. So as per my definition, we can say any name is called a noun. For example, if we talk about a place, Italy, a thing, a book, Madrid, Umar, iron, advice, death, etc. Then comes pronoun, in place of noun, which is used in place of noun. So a pronoun, what is a pronoun? When we are talking about someone, for example, we are talking about Ram. Ram is a boy. When we again are going to speak about Ram, we will not include Ram in upcoming sentences. We will say he is 8 years old. He is tall. For girls, we say Sita or Rita or Rubina. When we talk about them, again and again, we say, for example, Rubina is a beautiful girl. When we are going to describe her more qualities, so we will not be saying Rubina is a beautiful girl. Rubina lives in Baramulla or in India. Rubina is a tall girl. We will say, Rubina is a beautiful girl. She is my neighbor. She is a loving person. She is a caring person. So these, he, she, it, they, we, those are called pronouns. All right? So, pronoun. A pronoun is a word that can be used in place of a noun, typically after the noun itself has already been stated. The pronouns are I, you, he, she, it, we, they. An example of this in speech is James likes to eat pizza, but he prefers pepperoni. Well, in this sentence, we talk about James. First, we call James like to eat pizza. Then we say, but he prefers. We didn't say James like to eat pizza, but James prefer pepperoni. We say, but he prefers. In this case, he is the pronoun because it is being used in place of the noun, which is James. Understood? Same will be the case with he, she, it, they, we, even I. Okay? Then comes another part, verb. What is a verb? It is a little bit confusing. Most of the students get confused to know about what is a verb. A verb is one of the 10 parts of speech that can be confusing for language learners because it needs to be conjugated based on the tense and the pronoun. A verb is an action word or doing what that signifies moment in some way. Some examples of the verb are run, jump, eat, kiss, etc. I have given a chart here, some common verbs of English language where we can see slide, stain, slip, start, smell, steal, snore, stick, slow, string, sting, sow, stink, speak, say, different words. Those are the verbs. We show some action. We show some work. Then comes adjective. Adjectives are those which describe a noun. An adjective is a word that is used to describe a specific noun and to provide more details to the listeners. It is one of the essential parts of grammar, otherwise language would be dull and boring, and it would be difficult to identify things. For instance, instead of saying the car, the speaker can say the red car. In this case, red is an adjective because it tells the listener that what the car looks like. We say the red car, it defines the car that it is a red car. And we say big house, it defines the house that it's a big house. So adjectives are those words which describe nouns. All right? And adjectives. In other words, we can say an adjective is a word which qualifies a noun. For example, a tall girl, a white ball, wise man, large house, etc. Note here, tall, wide, wise, and large. These underlined words are adjectives. There are some other types of adjectives as well, like my, your, his, this, these, etc. Okay, then comes article. The articles are also types of adjectives. There are three articles, uh, an, and the. So you must be knowing when we use a and when we use an and when we use the. An article is another type of adjective that may not be considered as a part of speech but can be sometimes be counted towards the 10 parts of speech. At least in English, this is likely because not all languages have articles. An article is either the word a, an, or the, and is used to give more information about a common noun. It is that red car a car you recognize, your mom's car, or it is a random car driving on the highway. If so, you can either say the red car if you recognize it, or a red car if you don't recognize it, and is used before a noun that begins with a vowel sound like octopus or R. We must remember always that articles are basically adjectives, so must be followed by a noun. We say an orange because orange starts with a vowel sound, so we add an to it. We say a car because car starts with a consonant sound, so we add a car. In case of the, when we use the, if we are talking about something which is now a particular thing, I'm talking, he has got a big house, so it is a house, a big house. When we define this house in more terms, in more sentences, we will use the term the, because the is the determiner. So it determines, we are talking about, and we have been talking about the same thing, so we use the. He has a big house. The house has red roof. The house has a lawn in front of it. So what is the use of the? It is used for a specific object or a specific or a particular person we are talking about, right? So determiner. What are the determiners? Determiners is another one of the 10 forms parts of the speech that is not always counted because it can also be considered as adjective. Additionally, articles can sometimes be considered determiners as well, which is why both articles and determiners are usually left out of the 8 parts of speech. The determiners or quantifier is used to state how many or how much of a noun there is. For instance, in the sentence, there are many children at the playground. The word many is the determiner. So determiners in English, I have included a chart here for the additional information. Some possessive determiners are which shows possession. My, ours, your, his, her, its, their. So you can find their ordinals, numbers, quantifiers. So these will be introduced in the different chapter when we will be talking about particularly the lesson will be for determiners. We will be talking about these possessive ordinals, quantifiers. So right now we have seventh part. The seventh part is adverb. Adverb describes a verb. An adverb is yet another type of adjective that is used to describe a verb, but it can also describe an adjective or another adverb. Sometimes an adverb ends in ly, but not always. An adverb can also be word like very or and to. If you are unsure as to whether or not a word is considered an adverb, check it to see if it answers the question how. For example, in the sentence, Madison frantically did her homework. Ask yourself, how did Madison do her homework? Frantically. And so we come to know that adverb is a word which qualifies a verb, an adjective, an adverb itself, and a part of a sentence. For example, she walks slowly. Slowly is an adverb. It qualifies a verb, walk. Tom is well qualified. Well qualifies the qualified verb. He is qualified and it determines it. It shows us that he is well qualified. She walks very slowly. Here, slowly itself is an adverb, but very defines the adverb itself. Unfortunately, we lost the match. Unfortunately is also an adverb. The underlined words are adverbs. You can understand that. I have already discussed it. And the eighth part is conjunction. Conjunctions used to connect sentences. Conjunction. A conjunction is a word like if, but, or and, which is used to connect sentences or clauses together. For example, if you have two sentences like I am hungry and I am angry, you can join these two together with the conjunction and. Now the sentence is I am hungry and angry. We can say that conjunction is a word used for joining nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, clauses, and sentences, such as and, but, if, however, therefore, although, unless, as, because, so, etc. So these are the conjunctions. Ninth part, preposition, used to state location. A preposition is one of the most exciting parts of grammar for children to learn because they can have a lot of fun with it, because a preposition is used to describe the location of something in relation to something else, such as under, besides, or next to. Children can use their bodies or objects to represent positions or prepositional phrases. For example, if someone is playing cricket and the ball was hit over the roof of a house, so we say the ball was over the roof. If it goes beneath the table, the ball is under the table. If it is above the table, on the table, we say it is on the table. So these are the prepositions which determine the positions, and it is a chapter which children usually enjoy to learn, because we show them things. We have a table, or we have something where we put things under, our, on, beneath, besides. So children love to understand these things. We will be having a different particular lesson for prepositions as well, and where we will be showing uses of prepositions and how we can use prepositions. Then 10th part and the last part is interjection, used to express emotions. And interjection is used to express emotion in a sentence. It could be a word like wow or oops. Instead of saying something like the boy was surprised, you could use an interjection to instead say wow, said the boy in surprise. We should always remember that an interjection always begins with a capital letter. The exclamation mark, this mark is placed after the interjection. After an interjection, this mark is used, interjection. Okay, so it's a request. Please like, share, subscribe, and please do comment on Let's Speak English. If you have any query, question, suggestion, please feel free to comment or drop a comment. Please feel free to contact us or drop a comment below. If you need to contact us, if you have to contact us, you want to contact us, you have some specific questions, you can either communicate with MD Shafi or you can communicate with me. My WhatsApp number is 705 123 6222, or you can directly comment, or you can email us your suggestions, your comments. Those things will be available for us, and we will try to implement those suggestions as well. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day. And we are ending today's lecture with this quote: the limits of my language are the limits of my world. Thank you. Have a great day. Let's speak English. Bye. Take care.